time, my mom and brother and I went into a Kmart, a supermarket, something like that, and we were just about to check out. And my brother is like, "Oh, I have to go get this thing," and he runs over to the card store aisle aisle, and he grabs a theme deck. At the time, I had no idea what that was, and it was a Xerneas X and Y base set theme deck. He's like, "I have to get this," and he just like puts it down. And my mom's like, "You can't buy that. Go put it back." And he's like, "No, I'll pay for it. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, this is a silly purchase. I don't know why you would do this. And his explanation was he just liked Pokemon. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't know we were still young, but whatever. And he purchases the theme deck. I go about my day playing Minecraft or whatever. And all of a sudden, like 8 o'clock at night, my brother comes running down. He's like, "Will, did you know there's a game to this thing?" And I was like, no, I had no idea. I thought it was just collectible. And he then hands me some sort of pamphlet or whatever that comes inside of the theme decks that's like, Pokemon League, go check out your local card store, see if they have a league you can play, and lists all the rules. And at that point I was like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting.
Hello, Mr. Ken. Can you describe the history of the Chantville PokeLeague?
We started small. We grew, like in the beginning we would have maybe 10 to 15 kids on a Saturday. And today we can get upwards of 30, 40, 50 people to an event. During this time I got my professor. I was certified as a professor, which means I could organize Pokemon League officially, have it be on the Pokemon website, and actually be able to sanction tournaments that would help players in the community earn championship points in different kinds of local tournaments. And then when we went to another league and competed, I met with a person by the name of David, and he actually knew a store owner called the Fantastic Store, and he made introductions, and the owner of the Fantastic Store invited us to hold a league at his store because he was a big Pokemon fan and he sold Pokemon cards, so the synergy was there. And so from there, that was almost 9 years ago, and I've been there since. We started in 2014, and we served the local community Pokemon fans, offering a place for them to come to play in official Pokemon tournaments, in pre-releases, a place for them to trade with each other and make friends, and just a cool place to hang out and socialize.
Players, I want to make sure that I have everyone in the tournament, so juniors and seniors come up first. Verify that you are listed in the player roster.
Okay, so what got you into Pokemon?
Alright, so when I was 4 years old, right, I lived in Europe, and there was a Burger King, right? And in this Burger King, they gave out Pokemon cards. And in my first Pokemon card I still have is a Pichu, a promo little Pichu. They got from a Burger King Happy Meal, or what they call it in Burger King. And that got me hooked. Ever since then, I've played Pokemon with my brother at home, like structure decks we bought from Walmart, with my parents' money, of course.
I was familiar with the video games. That's the first thing way back in the day. As a kid, the video games came out, and then eventually other merchandise came out, and eventually this card game came out. So I was looking for something to do with my kids that would be fun, and I discovered the card game.
What do you think Pokemon has helped you in like other areas other than like outside of playing Pokemon?
I think most significantly it's helped me with my math skills. I consistently score the highest, at least for me, on standardized testing and probability, which is a major part of calculations of Pokemon, being a card game. So it's definitely helped me a lot with math and just logic and strategy as well.
So you do a lot of like probability in Pokemon?
Yeah, there's a lot of calculating. So the way Pokemon's played is you set out 60 cards and you draw 7. Those 7 could be any of the cards from the 60. So calculating, this is just like one example, calculating the chances of what you open with in those first 7 cards is something that's really important when you're deciding how strong like a certain deck is.
Yeah, I think that especially for my kids, it's helped them with reading skills, math, trying to figure out just like almost like engineering type skills also, because figuring out a sequence of events, how to figure that out, how to plan ahead, and that's just for playing the game, and then for learning how to construct your own deck, that just kind of take things to a whole other level. But then also, for example, you can create a deck however you want, but there's also plenty of resources, let's say YouTube videos or articles, so now that gets them into like learning how to research something, right?
Social skills, by far. I'm a committed card game player. I play Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and Pokemon.
Dang.
And I think I've never been more social person when I go to Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic tournaments. I think it's really world-changing the amount of like social skills you can gain by playing at a card game tournament.
So networking with people and then having those people work with you on decks and stuff is really, really helpful. And a lot of the people I talk with, they don't even live in my state. So if I had never made the attempt to like meet new people, that would never have been possible.
I've sort of noticed how the game has changed over the years.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean it's a mixed bag. I mean, some people are gonna like the changes, some people are not gonna like the changes. I'll admit one change that was hard for me to adjust to was the idea of these bigger Pokemon that were very highly powered, but then also there was a higher risk to using them because because of the prize card mechanism there. So I could see the appeal there, and I think you just kind of take the good with the bad, and overall, like for example, I guess one thing, just as a parent, I can understand, oh, okay, well, as sets rotate in and out, well, if you want to stay in the game, you're just going to kind of keep, investing a certain amount into it.
Yeah.
And so that could kind of be discouraging for people who are, or if there's a deck that they really like and they want to keep playing competitively, eventually that's going to kind of fade away as well.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think it keeps the game fresh. It keeps it so that you're always continuously thinking about it.
Wow. Okay. Now, on the other hand, have you had like any gripes with the game, or like?
I have an issue when I go to a larger tournament, that when I don't win, I feel upset.
Oh, I feel that.
I feel down when I don't win a large tournament. Local level tournaments don't matter to me. I go there, if I lose, it's whatever. But when I travel to a larger level event like Baltimore, West Virginia, Philadelphia, and I lose, I feel bad.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm Daniel Lynch. Most people know me as Finn though, because that's like my nickname, I guess. I'm from Sacramento. I've got 487 points right now. I've been playing for 7 years, and I own this website called CutterTap.com.
During our time at Chantville PokeLeague, we saw people from different backgrounds, from world champions to newcomers of Pokemon, from young kids to seasoned judges, gathering not just for the competition, but also for the community of the league. They come to socialize, they come to develop their skills on and off the table, and most importantly, they come for a great space to have fun.
Honest people, people I can trust and just hang out with and be comfortable with. I can't just go anywhere and find that. I can't find it in the newspaper or on the television because those aren't real people. Sporting events, you see people are one way on the field and another way in real life. When I'm hanging around somebody for 10, 14 hours a day, I get to see a lot of their bad behaviors. And with Pokemon players, these are pretty good people. And I think that's because it involves the children and the younger kids, and we are actively attempting to be role models the entire time we're here. And I think that makes a big difference, just in the quality of people we get and the practices that we are integrating into our lives, because we want it to be a great game.
It's such a good game. Like it's terrible sometimes, but just like the mental challenge. Like it's like I love games like chess and just strategizing and thinking like that for like hours on end. It's just like I like to challenge my brain like that, and I think it's really cool. And then you combine that with the creativity of deck building, and it's like the perfect combination for me because it challenges me creatively and like technically. I think ahead. Like I plan my life like way further ahead now. Like I live my whole life like I'm playing Pokemon. It's really kind of a trip. Yeah, no, seriously, it like rerouted my brain. Like I'm seriously a completely different person because of more like robot-y, I guess. But I like it. I just like think about what I expect other players to be using, and then I use, attack just like a counter card to what they have. And I expected Mark and Oscar Morales both to play Virizion Genesect. I knew that was the best tech for it, so I decided to tech it, and it worked out for me. But it's just basically prediction, putting specific cards in because you predict a certain matchup.
Meanwhile, in the senior division, a match that could be worth potentially thousands of dollars was happening. One of the players was a kid that I taught how to play the game almost 7 years ago.
1-1 right now. I just played against, and then he was going first game 3, which is a pretty big advantage. I still made it pretty close, which is crucial because over half of his deck is item cards. He used an item card when I didn't hit the Vileplume. That was really crucial. That won him the game. I think if I had hit Vileplume that turn, then it would have been mine, but... I am 5-2 right now. One more win and I might make it into the top 8, maybe. It's top 16 for sure. So I'm just holding on to whatever I have left. I've been drawing pretty well and playing pretty well these past 3 rounds. I haven't noticed any big miss players, so I'm feeling good. Doesn't really matter that much because the person who is a threat to pass me in the rankings has the same record as me, so he might not make cut either.
What do you guys play?
Huh?
What did you play him?
That would be pretty rough.
As you can probably guess, John ended up playing the opponent he was talking about. If John loses, he is at serious risk of losing his top 4 position in North America, which means he would not receive a fully paid trip, including flight.